Scorpio, welcome back to Love from Leo. My name is Tay, otherwise known as Love from Leo, and this is your February 2020 tarot reading. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at your cards. Keep in mind this is for any Scorpio placement in your chart. I realize it makes no sense to just limit it to Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus, whatever. Any placement in your chart is going to relate to that part in your astrology natal chart. If you want to know more about your natal chart, then email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com, and I got you. All right, so let's just hop in. We're going to start off with the number 8 card. This is Trapped in Fear. So this is what Spirit needs to tell you before I even start your reading. So we're going to read this card first, all right? Keep in mind, this whole February, you're going to be relating to people. So you need to figure out how you're relating, good or bad. So Trapped in Fear. Scorpio, this card reveals that it's actually your own fear that has you immobilized and trapped, preventing you from making decisions or choices. You are the one who's holding yourself prisoner or hostage. And in order to continue your journey, you must first face your fears so that new people and conditions can manifest. Many individuals choose to stay in this place because they can't see the road ahead. They feel misguided sense of safety there, or they're afraid to start something new. But staying will only add to your levels of stress and anxiety and create adverse effects in your physical body. Seek out wise counsel for assistance. You don't have to do this alone. You know that you possess all of the tools that you need to free yourself. You're forgetting how strong you really are. This period will end when you use your mind to cut through the limitations caused by your emotions. Scorpio, listen. I already feel it. I already know this is going to be a deep one. Look here. Scorpio, this is you. The number 8. We got the number 8 twice. This is you right now, okay? So you're in this infinite washer machine cycle of fear. You're trapped behind invisible bars. You may be trapped around, or you may just be trapped in general, just in your life. You may feel stuck. When you feel stagnant energy, you got to do the opposite of what you've been doing. You got to change it up. You got to shake it up. So if you are feeling trapped, you got to do the opposite, because you can only attract whatever you're putting out, because opposites attract. Okay, so if you're putting out fear, you're going to attract that. If you're putting out courage and you're going after the things that you need to, then you're not going to attract those scary situations. You're going to attract the opposite, because you're not working in that same frequency. So again, Libra's energy of relating is showing up very heavily in your spread here. We have 9 of Cups here. So I think you're going to feel comfortable throughout this month, like as far as your physical situations. But I think mentally, you're still going to be kind of in limbo about decisions. You're not really quite sure on things that you're doing, but you are comfortable in the situation that you're in. So there's no rush, there's no hurry. But mentally, your mind is on go, okay? So that is showing up here. Your mind is definitely on go, Scorpio, but it's for I feel like it's for a good thing. But 5 of Swords in reverse is showing up. So you're not talking to a Sag. There's something that needs to be said to a Sag, but you're not saying anything. You're stuck in your head. There's something that you need to release, confess. It's showing up here. But I feel like for some reason you're holding back. You feel like it's not the time. I feel like you know that the ball is in your court, but you are playing chess. 5 of Wands. There's competition with you and this Sag, even if you guys are in a relationship. Someone's always trying to win, or there's a competition of some sort. You guys are always playing chess. Or maybe if you speak your mind, if you tell them, you feel like there's going to be a fight that happens. So you're weighing your odds. What should I do? What decision am I going to make? It can get pretty crazy once you start, trying to play chess with people who have no boundaries. And I feel like that's what you've been doing, and I feel like that's why you feel trapped. Things have gotten too deep. And that's saying a lot for a Scorpio, because Scorpio lives in the deep end. Trust me, I know. But this deep darkness that's happening, it's like you caused it. Or you may have had a hand in it, and now you have to figure out how to play your cards wisely. So let's get a little bit more information on what is it that needs to be told. What isn't being said. So you know that you have some type of power. You may have some type of leg up or an advancement or something. You have some type of leg up in a situation. It could be dealing with money, or maybe you're getting more money, or maybe there's a new career coming your way. There's something that you know you have an edge on this Sagittarius with. And once you end it, that's it. Like, they can't do nothing about it. So you're keeping, it's almost like you have this power that you know you have. 2 of Wands. You're trying to figure out how should you use this power now. But it's a secret. It's all a secret to you. You're keeping it to yourself, huh? What are your desires to use these powers for, Scorpio? Now, we know Scorpio is a very powerful sign. We know that you can create your reality. We know that you live in those depths, and we know that you will go to the deepest and darkest parts of the ocean to figure out how to rectify and even out the playing field, you know, between you and whoever your opponent is. So I don't question that you can handle this person. War isn't nothing, you know, like war is, that's where Scorpio lives, Mars. So, you know, I mean, Pluto as well. I mean, but take your pick. Any planet that you choose to go on, whether it's Mars or Pluto, it's gonna be some shit, right? So I don't think that you don't trust yourself. I think that you are so in the deep end. You're like, look, if I'm the one who has to justify the situation, it's not gonna be pretty. So I feel like you're almost like, yeah. 8 of Wands. You're like, look, shit is getting it's getting real. I know shit's about to end. I'm just waiting on my turn. I'm just waiting on my turn to get off this ride. I can feel it. That's what I hear you saying. I can feel it. It's about to happen. It's about to happen. 3 of Swords. It's like you're about to break their heart. Or you're about to slice through that hole. One or the other. Ooh, it's like you guys are playing hide and seek almost. Ooh, Scorpio. Yeah, you and the Lovers card. Page of Pentacles, Lovers. You guys are playing hide and seek. I feel like it's getting a little dangerous though, just because 8 of Cups is here, and it's like you guys are very secure with each other, codependent, and so I feel like this could be kind of weird. This could go different ways. We're gonna leave it at that for now. If you want to check more into that, we'll go deeper into the extended reading. Make sure you check that out. Let's see. Let's get some advice for those of you still going through this, Scorpio. 8 of Wands. So yeah, like I was saying, things are speeding up. That's what this card here is. But instead of trying to get ready, just be prepared so you don't have to get ready. Stay ready. You know what I'm saying? Stay ready. You already know how dark this game can go, Scorpio. You already know. Like it's really just a matter of, I almost feel like you're like, I don't want to go back to that side. I don't want to tap back into that old me. Sometimes you got to show people though. And I'm not saying physically, and I'm not saying for you guys to do anything you ain't got no business doing. But I'm just saying if it's a matter of personality or emotional things or something like that, sometimes you got to show people. Or maybe you just need to speak up. Speak up, Scorpio. But sometimes speaking isn't always with words. Sometimes you have to speak with your actions. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there. Let's go ahead and move on into your past. Because looking at your past can kind of give me an idea of why all of this is even happening in the first place. So we have a Pisces popping up in your past, mainly Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So you, as of January, you were showing that you had your shit together. You were really working on building yourself, maybe building your brand for some of you, or a business. I really feel like you were very on top of your game, especially your finances, credit, things like that, you know? So you're very financially in tune. We have the 8 of Cups. So are you weighing your options? I feel like you were just kind of floating. Like you weren't really in the relationship. You were more so just like spectating the relationship. So it's like you're a part of the relationship, but really you're just like, you weren't really there. You weren't all the way there. Does that make sense? So you're really just focused on your money. And as far as that family or that family that you once had, you're like, that's not what we're doing here. Like, I'm not focused on that. I'm looking somewhere else. There's a whole new direction, and it's just me and myself. So that was your whole mindset as of last month. And even with the 8 of Pentacles here, you're really working on dismantling what has been for you. whether that's your family, whether it's the structure of a relationship, the dynamics of a relationship. You're like, you know what? Instead of me working so hard to try to make it work, how about I just work on myself and let this shit go away? Like, let that shit fall if it will. And then once it falls, then I'll see if it was sturdy enough for me to even need it in the first place. Was it even strong enough to have me a part of it? You know, Scorpio, you know how you can, as a Scorpio, the way that you show that you love someone or the way that you show that you care about them is just by being a part of their life. That's what I always feel about Scorpios. Like, you'll know a Scorpio is, like, there for you if they experience shit with you. If they're there through the ups and the downs, because that's what Scorpio is 24/7. You know what I'm saying? So if they're willing to ride that roller coaster with you, they're down for you. But I feel like you're like, you know what? I'm just going to do me. I'm gonna be on the ride, but I'm gonna pretend you're not even here with me. And that was your goal. You were like set on changing how things felt within the dynamic between that relationship. Now, did that backfire? I don't know. For those of you who are still in that mindset of not knowing what to do with that person, or you don't know if you should still try to make things work or not, we have the 7 of Cups. So it's really your decision. So this is all a matter of what feels right. Obviously, with Pisces being right here, that Pisces is showing up once again. So there's definitely ties to Pisces here. Or maybe in your chart, if there's a certain house that is illuminated with that Pisces energy, it's showing up. It's almost like you need to make the decision. Like even Hangman is coming up, you know, with Pisces. It's like you got to make a decision. But the decision is like you got to feel it. It's not going to be tangible. You got to feel it. And so only you can really, you know, determine that. Which is gross, you know? Like, I hate telling people that. Like, only you know. But, like, it's true. Only you know. Okay. Let's look into your future. Now, your future obviously is going to cover a little bit of your March. Now, this is just to get a little bit of the energy that we're looking at in your March. Obviously, it will change depending on what you do in your present. So let's just jump right in. So there is probably a Libra that's going to be around you in your March. Libra, whatever placement, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. We have the King of Cups. So you're really like in this place where you're trying to achieve peace in your emotional life, or maybe just in your life in general. You're really trying to just make whatever situation you're in, no matter how ugly, how pretty, whatever, you're trying to just be peaceful within that. Now, the way that you're trying to find this peace is by going outside of yourself. So you may be using your friends as resources to talk to. You may be reaching out to others in your community. You may be just going on the internet more and not talking to people around you physically. You're really stepping outside of your physical way of talking to the people that have naturally been around you, and you're trying to find new resources, if I may say. You're trying to find new people that you can kind of tap into, not in an evil way, but just like new sources of inspiration. Does that make sense? And that comes with connecting yourself to new people. Also with the Libra card here, it's also, this could be a Libra, but it also could be saying that in your March, you're also focused on how you relate to others, you know, like your friendships, for example, how harmonious you're you know, being towards others. Now, I do want to see why. Like, what's the motive for you actually wanting to resource outside of your normal habitat or your familiar surroundings? 6 of Wands in reverse. I think there was a relationship in your past, obviously, that did not work out. I think you were a little bit embarrassed by this, and this could have been just because you guys moved too fast as far as communication. Or maybe there was a lot of talk, but when it came to action, it wasn't the same amount of energy. So just a matter of different opinions. But I feel like in March, there definitely will be an effort of you balancing out those scales, especially in harmonious relationships, but also those relationships that have a lot of confrontation that needs or hasn't happened as of yet. But let's look into this deck here, because I feel like there's a lot of deeper intent connected to that, only because the King of Cups is showing up very strong. So it's like, if you are in search of a certain serenity or solitude, it has to be for a reason. So let's just look and see why. 10 of Cups. Yeah, so there's like a completion. You know what? It's like a milestone. Like you know how they say every 7 years, it's like or every 3 or 7 years or something, it's like a trine year. And so like it levels you up mentally in some type of way. So like with the 10 of Cups, I really feel like you're hitting a milestone where you're just kind of like, you're good on everything that you thought was love in the past. So not that you're done with love completely, but it's like all of the last phase, that last age of how you mentally were seeing and having a perspective on romance and stuff, it's changing. because you don't see it as that anymore. I feel like you've went through the whole route of like being in love and stuff, and now you're on the other end and you're like, look, I just want to be good. Like, I just want to be good with myself. King of Cups. I actually really like that card though. The King of Cups in this deck is really like poised, chilling, but by choice. It isn't because you were forced into being by yourself. It's by choice, and I think that's just a really good place to be in as far as, you know, having solitude. So I do like to see that for you, Scorpio. There's a Leo that's popping up here. So maybe a Leo could be the person that can help you get to that level of solitude. Yeah, Three of Wands. So you are creating some new form of action. I think the action that you're creating is like this subtle form of strength. Like a subtle form of strength. So instead of like physically asserting yourself, you're using a more like feminine type of strength as far as like being internally like wise and calm enough to not be moved by whatever is happening around you. Does that make sense? So it's like you have an internal strength that's being started in your March. And because of that inner fire, you have that natural balance of Scorpio being balanced with the King of Cups. Scorpio finally having that balance of fire and water. So fire and water is definitely coming in your March. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Pull a card. Ooh. All right, so we got recognition and reward. So this is what's coming towards you. A reward for a job well done is what this card represents. It's a time of recognition for a completed project, hard work, skill, expertise, and craftsmanship. These abilities are now being honored, but don't forget to also pay homage to yourself. Pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. This card also comes forward to represent a family or a group of people coming together, all of whom are aiming and striving towards a common goal. Accept the help that's being offered. More possibilities are in the works, so be sure to lay a solid foundation from your past achievements, and this will help you be ready for the next opportunity. In addition, this card is a reminder to take care of your physical body. After all, it's what carries your soul around in this material world. So there's a connection with the 3 right here. So 3 is obviously the number of creation. It's when one and another one comes together to make something. So in your March, there's definitely a boom, a spark, a creation that is happening. I feel like this is something that you've been envisioning for a while because it is the fire 3 of Wands here. But the recognition and rewards card is all about having so many good things kind of like just light itself on fire. Like, you know, when you have fireworks and then like, let's say you lit all of them up in a row and they all go off like in a domino effect. That's what's happening in your March. Like all of these plants that you've been, or these seeds that you've been planting in your past, they're finally like starting to bloom, and you're really gonna see it in your March. But with that comes you having to work a little bit harder to keep up with the demand that I do see coming your way. Because you have figured out how to emotionally balance yourself, now it's like, okay, Earth is going to come in with a little bit of practicality, and it's like, okay, now that you're emotionally stable, let's do some work. Let's make some more things happen. Let's bring in some more money. So with all of that being said, you have to remember that in this 3-dimensional state that you're in, with all of these new abundance forms of abundance coming to you in forms of materials, you do still have to pay attention to the physical part of yourself, which is your body. So just make sure whatever, like if you're going to be getting all these fruits of your labor come to you, make sure you're replenishing that into yourself so that you can keep working in a healthy way. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, Scorpio. Especially if you have like Scorpio in your 6th house, because 6th house rules like your everyday chores and things, but it also rules like your health. So you want to make sure if you have Scorpio or ties to that, or Pluto or Mars in your 6th house, make sure you're paying a lot of attention to how much physical assertion you're putting on your body in regards to how that's affecting your work and maybe how people are seeing you, your everyday life. Like it all plays together with the 6th house energy. Yeah, with that being said, I think that's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to see the extended version, then join me on my Patreon. I have the link down below, and I should have the card here somewhere on the screen. So just click that, and I'll see you in just a second. You can leave me a thumbs up because it helps me out so much. You can also subscribe to my channel because I know you want to see more videos like this, and I'm cranking them out just for you. If you would like to purchase a private reading from me, all you have to do is email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com, and we can set that up for you. Thank you so much, and yeah, I'll see you very soon. Bye.